Good afternoon to everyone. This is Dr. Anil. I am going to demonstrate very important topics. The name of topic is waveguide attenuators. So now, as we learned about the fixed type of attenuators, now we are going to be learned about the new types of attenuator, that is rotatory wave type of attenuators. So for understanding these rotatory wave attenuators, this is the diagram for the rotatory wave attenuators. Here you can see that these diagrams are looking complex, but it is very easy to understand. Here you can see that this is the first portion of the rotatory wave attenuators. This is the rectangular waveguide. This is the rectangular waveguide. You can see that. So here these first portions convert from rectangular waveguide to circular one. This waveguide is in the circular and this waveguide is in the rectangular. That's why I have entered rectangular one to circular conversion. So this is, and here electric field is perpendicular and this electric field can be entered into this waveguide and it will convert from, if this is the rectangular waveguide, what is the dominant mode? The dominant mode is TE10. So we need to convert into the circular dominant mode. In the circular dominant mode, that is TE11. So this is the first portions of your rotatory wave attenuators. Now come to that, we are having three sections. So first one is the fixed resistive guard. This is your circular oscillating. This is rectangular waveguide, circular waveguide. Here you can see that this is your resistive guard. This resistive guard is fixed now. This resistive guard is fixed here, right? So I have drawn I have drawn the internal structures for understanding the operations. What happening here? This particular resistive guard, it should be, if you see this particular first portion of the cylindrical waveguide, you can see that it should be, or if you see this from the front, your resistive guard will be in the center. Your resistive guard will be in the center, and you know that these electric fields are entering, and this electric field is perpendicular. This electric field is perpendicular to this resistive guard. So here at this particular fixed sections, your resistive guard is your electric field is perpendicular to the resistive guard. That means there is no loss, there is no attenuation. Whenever electric field is perpendicular to the resistive guard, there is no losses. Losses will be registered only and only whenever your electric field is parallel to the resistive guard. So here we can see that resistive guard and this electric field is perpendicular to each other. Means there is no losses. There is no losses. You can say that at this particular point. Now come to the this sections. This is your here you can see that we have rotate this resistive guard with some angle. We have rotated this resistive guard with some angles. This angle is nothing but theta m. So we have rotated the resistive guard. That's why it is called rotable sections with the angle of theta m. So here you can see that we have rotated the resistive guard. This guard is horizontal here. We have rotated some angle. So here we have rotated the resistive guard. So now this becomes the resistive guard, right? This becomes the resistive guard, and how much it is tilted? It is tilted by theta m. It is tilted by theta m. So now, as per the concept, you can see that if this becomes theta m, then and this becomes 90. This angle and this angle become total 90 degree. So here it will be 90 minus theta m. So that's why this angle also become theta m. So if this theta m, so here electric field is there. So along with the electric field, what should be the contribution? If this is the electric field and this is the theta m, so here you can see that if this is theta m and electric fields are there, then there is a two component of theta m. One is a sine one is a cosine one, along with the electric field. So this parallel to this, it will become cos theta m, and it will become this will become sin theta m, e sin theta m, and this become e cos theta m. So here you can see that which field is parallel to the e sin, which field is parallel to the resistive card. Here you can see that e sin theta is parallel to the resistive card. So this will be absorbed. This will be absorbed. Perpendicular field. Which one is perpendicular to this resistive card? E cos theta m. This e cos theta m will proceed into the next section, and this next section is again, this is called fixed section. Here also we have fixed section, and next section is again here a fixed section. This is a fixed resistive card. Here you can see that this particular rotatory wave will absorb e sin theta m, but it will forward, it will proceed. The amount of electric field which will proceed from this section to that section is e cos theta m. So e cos theta m will come here for this section. Again you can see that this is your resistive card. This is your resistive card. E cos theta m is here, and you know that. So here the angle is again it is changed because we are rotating. Here it is how much? Without theta m is equal to 0. Here theta m is there. So again we have to rotate this theta m. So we have rotate this theta m. So this becomes theta m. So what happening? Electric field is now, initially it was E. Then E sin theta is absorbed here. E sin theta m is absorbed. But E cos theta is passed. So here it becomes E cos theta m. So now what it become? This horizontal become E cos theta m. E cos theta m, E into cos square theta m, and this become E sin theta m into E cos theta m. Because this is cos theta, this becomes sin, and this becomes cos. So here you can see that this E into sin theta m into cos theta m, this electric field is parallel to the resistive card. So this will be absorbed. This will be absorbed. What you will receive here at the output, what you will receive here. You will receive E cos square theta m. This particular you will receive this E cos square theta m. You will receive, and here you can see that this is your circular waveguide and this is your rectangular waveguide. So conversion will be from circular to rectangular waveguide. So as you can see that this will rotatory one, we are rotating the attenuations. That's why it is called rotatory vane type of attenuator, right? The power, the attenuations can be measured. The attenuations of this power can be, the attenuations of the power can be measured with the help of this formula. What is the formula? If you want to measure the attenuations can be given by 10 log of 1 upon cos square cos the power 4 theta m. Why it is given? Because power, because we know that the power is, the fraction of power is proportional to the square of the output. So power is proportional to the square of this output. So if you do the squaring of the output, it become cos square cos to power 4 theta m. So that's why here we have put equation is equal to 10 log of 1 upon cos to power 4 theta m. If you here you can see that so this is the loss of power. Finally, the loss of power because of the attenuation is how much? Here the power loss is cos square cos to power 4 theta m, and here it should be the square of these two, because it is going to be lost. So it becomes this one. This is the loss. This is the losses, and here the loss is 0. Here the loss is sin square theta m. Here the loss is sin square theta m into cos square theta m. These are the losses. Losses is proportional to the square of the output. Here no outputs because no absorptions. Here only sin E sin theta is absorbed. So E sin theta into E sin theta m, that whole square will be the absorption. This will be the absorption, and here this will be the absorption. So here integration is equal to 10 log of 1 upon cos power 4 theta m. Here we will achieve greater than 80 dB, greater than 80 dB attenuations, greater than 80 dB attenuations. So this particular rotatory vane attenuator is very important. It gives you a calibrated attenuation. That's why variable attenuator, this rotatory vane attenuator is used or utilized in the microwave lab because it gives you calibrated attenuations. Thank you.